Jetta Coupe, I got all the way from Rhode Island. These are pictures from the original owner's house, and us towing it away all the way down here to Long Island, New York. Like hours, but I didn't have to do any of the driving. So anyway, let's put shots of the inside, which is pretty much all the same outside of the window cranks, the door pins, the shift knob, and the steering wheel. I think and the radio. Those are like the only things I changed on the inside. And this is like the first day we bring it in. We just like pull the motor out, start cleaning everything up, try to make it good looking, pretty. It's a good looking car anyway. It just had no paint. The motor looked regular. Everything looks just plain Jane, and that just doesn't sit well with me. So this is pulling the motor out. After that, we start to clean it up, primer it up. So I'll primer it up, come back the next day or two. I think that picture's out of order. And then paint, a couple more coats of paint, clear coat. And then we're down to taking off the head, cleaning up the pistons, painting the block. That's primer on the block, and I use the VHT stuff so it doesn't really peel or last pretty long. Clean the pistons up, nice and clean, shiny, shiny block. Didn't want to make anything too colorful like some of my last builds on the motor. There's new parts that went in. Those are spark plugs, and this is like when I got the head back from the machine shop. It's new lifters. Those are old lifters in the background. Freshly decked and hot tanked head. And then we, starts assembly time. Paint the transmission, do the chains, the guides, new clutch, flywheel. A lot of my other builds, it's a lightweight flywheel. A lot of my other builds on other cars, like I've done a lot of like colorful and, eye-catching, eye-popping kind of colors on, intakes and the block and everything like that. I just wanted to keep this one kind of simple. Just a two-tone setup where it's just burgundy and black, and this is the first time we started, or first or second time, something like that.
One more time, run it back. All right, back with this VR.
So from the video right before this one started is I think like the first or second startup, and I heard a bunch of noises. Not a whole bunch, wasn't really that loud, but it's like some sort of like ticking or just some sort of tapping kind of a sound I heard from the head. And to figure it out, we pulled the whole head off again, and this is pretty much just me inspecting it, trying to figure out what that sound was. And then the following video right after this one is pretty much where I find the source of that noise. I didn't want to chance it anyway, so I just changed heads altogether. But I did find the source of that noise. It's like some little plastic piece. You'll see it a little bit a little bit later in this video. And it looks like either something fell down the second runner and then just slipped in between the intake valve and started just burning and melting or something, or it was deliberately placed there. Who knows? But whatever. It happened. It's over. We got over it. Got past it. And yeah, this is the part where I pretty much show you from the other head. It looks like a guitar pick. Yeah, right there. It looks like I don't know, like a really used guitar pick. And I try to like give you looking idea of where I kind of found it on in between the head and the block, right? And it was just like smashed up like right around there, like it just slipped through a valve. And it seems like it's made out of plastic, and I say that, don't mind the raw papers.
It was like that, and I plucked it off. That could be this could be the source of the noise, whatever the fuck that is. Besides that, everything else looks okay. I don't know. Back again tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Put the new head on. New cams. All right. Put another head on. That's the old one. It's not even old. Anyway, this is the piece. I don't think it's metal. It's like, you know, it's real flexible. I'm leaning towards like the very tip of an injector that's made out of plastic. Maybe, I'm guessing at this point, I don't know. Fuck it, new head anyway.
So we start doing a lot of the body work and like taping it up, doing, you know, getting ready for primer. And the next thing you know, we got it primed up. And then we call, you know, Richie in to come do his, you know, painting thing. He works like a paint and body shop or like a body shop. Not the best, but he didn't really have the best conditions to get the best results. So, you know, I'm not mad at it. It's okay. His car still looks pretty decent. And this is him like,
Throw it. Don't worry.
You know, shooting it down. The lighting in here is just really bad. You know, I gotta do something about that. This is the part where we put the gold pearl into the clear coat, and mix it up.
Good.
I know I sound like a 4-year-old kid. Like,
No, that's good.
It does kind of look fun, like kind of cool when you see that stuff pour in there. We mix it up. The whole time, I have to say this, the whole time, and we're in like a 1.5 bay garage doing this. This guy did not wear an oxygen mask. Like, he didn't wear anything around his face. If I pans up a little bit, you could probably see that. But if you hear me talking, my voice is like really muffled because I have the only mask on in there. I don't even know how he was breathing because I had the mask on and I still couldn't really breathe. It was like kind of getting through. And this is after like putting like mounds and mounds of paper towels and new filters to, you know, block all the, you know, stuff that's flying around the air. This is the tire letters. You know, I had my cousin print these up for me. They made out of like vinyl, made 4 tires, and we use, I believe it's like vinyl tire lettering epoxy. You know, just like some sort of rubber glue, just to help rubber adhere to vinyl. And I chose something that I probably thought I'd never see anywhere. You know, most people have like Goodyear or Nitto or whatever you say those, you know, that kind of stuff written on their tire. Pirelli, which I understand, you know, but I like being different. I can't stand to you know, follow suit and do what everybody else is kind of doing. I'm gonna do it, but I'm just gonna do like a little bit differently. You know, so that's how the Catch Me Outside. How about that? Tire letters came about. I hope this bitch don't try to sue me or nothing like that. It's just some tire letters. I'm not really making like profit off of, you know, some phrase she said. And I think that the next clip is going to be, I think, just a shot of like the cat is gone. It came with a full stainless steel. I think it's like a New Speed or Tectonics tuning or something like that. I don't know, but it's all stainless steel, 2.5-inch exhaust. And I put this electric cutout in there, even though it's not boosted. So it's got like a little toggle switch. So you can, you know, it's underneath the e-brake. You hit the toggle switch, the valve opens, it gets loud. You know, you hit the toggle switch the other direction, valve closed, it gets quiet. And a lot of these videos, even shot, the car still has an exhaust sweep, which I did find later on. I don't have any video clips of it. So I had to remove the cat just to make space for this, because I didn't want to chop up like a you know, like a pretty decent, like an in shape. It's not like chopped up enough, and so I figured, let me just. The cat was like a sectional piece. I didn't have to cut it either. I just unbolted it. It popped right out. And in its place, I welded up some V-band exhaust flange. And then I just made everything V-band. I cut the regular 2 or 3 bolt flange off of the headers and then welded a 3-inch V-band to that. And then, you know, just sectioned it with another V-band. And that's how I got the exhaust cutout. valve in there, which is pretty cool. And I like it because initially when I bought it, I thought it was the all open or all closed kind of a deal. Like you hit the button and it's all the way loud, you know, and you know, if you hit it back the other way, it's gonna be all the way like quiet. It actually turns out it wasn't like that. You can kind of go in between and open it halfway, you know, things of that nature. It's heater core, that thing blew up, had to put a new one in, new steering wheel, wiring for the exhaust, a couple pictures around town. People like this car. Got a lot of pictures. Got a lot of people stopping me about it. And the brakes, rotors, pads, did all the way around. I'm gonna leave a little bit of a mod list. It's not even little, but it's kind of a long freaking list. But I'm leaving a mod list of all the stuff that I did to this thing. Started in I'd say late February, and I didn't finish, I believe, until like mid-summer. And that's only because I had like a litter of puppies, and I just couldn't leave the house. And I was afraid like I was gonna come home to like a dead puppy or multiple dead puppies or something like that. So I took like maybe, I think, 6 weeks off until they were just like old enough that they could run around on their own and not kill themselves. I think it's like the second or third drive, just testing it. The alignment was really chopped. The alignment was so bad that
The lights are crazy.
it would stall a lot because the wheels were like fighting themselves. And so this is more like the TNT test and tune type of stuff you do before you try to take it out on, you know, public streets. It's just up and down the street, up the street, down the street. Get an idea for what's really wrong, and then pull it back in and see, you know, try to adjust that. And this is like towards the end where, you know, everything's kind of like running okay, running right, no hiccups. And we just started. The hood pops up. I know we actually got that fixed as well, so it stays down permanently and works with the latch just fine. And yeah, I think this is just more like test and tune kind of a stuff, you know. I believe the next clip I'm just trying to show the Japanese which is, I can't even say it's Japanese because the brake lights, the strobe brake lights, are now on Italian cars and I think German cars as well. You know, but it's like a little module. It costs like $4, I think, but you need like one for each side. I think if I can remember the name, I think GSA 100 or something like that. But all it does is you have to use LED bulbs because regular bulbs just don't react quick enough. So we changed everything in the taillight unit to the LED bulbs, and when you step on the brake, it does the blink, 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 you know, warning thing, which comes on like, I think, new SIs and new Ferraris, and I think some of the new German cars have this this kind of brake light setup. I just thought it was neat. I kind of like the little racer kind of look where it's you know, it's kind of have like an adult kind of a color to it, you know, and then add some kind of like tuner look stuff to it with like the wheels and then the brakes. And you know, the grill we murdered out. We tried to do like a dark, menacing kind of a look, and I think it kind of, overall, the car kind of came out okay. It came out pretty decent. I don't think it's my best build, probably not my favorite, but it came out alright. I'm happy with it. A lot of people like it, you know, and so I like it. So, like, it's kind of like my validation for doing stuff. I know people don't take pictures while I'm at the gas station or ask me questions about it. In my mind, I failed. So I put like a lot of effort in making something that's like, you know, not just go fast, because anyone can make a fast car, but I like to make stuff that's visually appealing. You know, so this is at the end of the summer, not even really the end. It's kind of like midsummer. Pretty much finished up everything I had to do to this car, got it running, no leaks, no this, no that. So it's like a few days before I got it registered and insured, and you know, I think I would just drive it around on like weekends after work, kind of a thing, you know, like weekend warrior style. You know, not even really fast. You know, it sounds great when it's going fast, but I kind of like the attention you get when you're just driving slow. So I don't really like beat on this car that much. And besides, I got other cars that like way faster, way more capable than this. And that's what's in the garage right now. It's going to be the Mk2, which is the following video, the following build. It's not even a new build. It's a revision. This is a car that I put together like years ago, maybe 5 or 6. I think not that long, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. I turboed this thing. I've had it for maybe like 8 years, but I've turboed it, like 3 or 4 years ago. Drove it to school, drove it around, just had my fun. Made a couple pulls, raced a few people here and there on the highway, streets. Don't tell anyone, even though I just did. Like I said, this is more of a revision. Like a lot of people who are just getting started into boosting their very first car or any car. It's just like their first time. And they don't really have the resources, don't really have like the super high-paying job or anything like that. They'll just take basic stuff. Like if your friend just walks in the door with a turbo he found in the garbage, a part of you will kind of contemplate if you're gonna put this on your car or not. If you're really broke, desperate, you'll actually like think about it. So the initial setup that I had on this car was all like either like second hand, like hand me down kind of like third party, fourth party turbos, where someone else has already put the abuse to it, and I'm just like grateful to have anything because it was just where I was at the time. But things are different now. I got a little bit more momentum. So this is, like I said, is more a revision. So we took off like a lot of the cheap stuff and put on more high quality parts. So that's what this revision of my Mk2 VR turbo is going to be. So stay tuned for that. The video right before this one on my channel is actually the assembly of the differential, so the LSD for this car. So that's what probably we're going to pick up next with the next video on this one. Stay tuned, got more coming.